Hello everybody, this is Crystal Guardian here to do another tarot reading for the collective. We're going to call in our guides, guardians, spirit, ancestors. Please give us your divine guidance and wisdom in this reading today. Any negative energies being sent our way, please return them back to the sender. We ask this in the name of the Most High. We have twin flame coming out, a spiritual connection between you and your twin flame. So let's see what else we have. Denial, failure to accept a situation, unhealthy cycles and addictions, obsession, focusing too much on one situation, you need to take a step back. We have abundance coming out. We have peace coming out in the reverse. It says, peace and contentment are coming to you. So whoever this is that's in denial and obsession, they're not finding any peace anywhere. And then we have abundance, an inflow of money, love, rewards. We have manifestation, balance, deception, fear coming out in the reverse. One more card, okay? And we have success coming out in the reverse. So, I feel like you were in a twin flame connection with somebody. Now with twin flame journey, this doesn't mean you have to put up with anybody's bullshit. A twin flame isn't somebody you're always going to be with for the rest of your life. You don't have to put up with abuse because someone is your twin flame. Usually in a twin flame connection, one twin will ascend and the other one won't, or one will ascend first and then step away, walk away, separate, and that's when the other twin will go through their dark night of the soul and ascend. But one twin is going to ascend first before the other. And the other one might not ascend at all. They might just stay in a low vibration. That's what I'm getting from this reading. I feel like you were in a twin flame connection. This person was deceptive towards you. It says false illusions, scarcity mentality, falling into bad habits. I feel like this is your twin. I feel like you had fear to walk away from this person. It says expecting the worst, afraid of failure, wasting time on negative thoughts. So I feel like at one point you didn't want to, you knew this was your twin flame. You didn't want to end this connection. You were afraid to leave. You were afraid of failure. You felt the divine connection between you and this person, so you held on out of fear for longer than you should have. I feel at some point their deceptions just got to be too much. You had to step out of this fear. You had to ascend. You had to find peace and balance in your own life. You were juggling too many things, or this person could have been juggling you. You had to take time to find yourself, to step away from this, to move out of fear and move into this balance. I feel like once you did that, you started to manifest things in. Once you got distance from this person, you became higher vibrationally. You went through your dark night of the soul. You faced these fears that you had. You overcame them. Now, you're starting to manifest in this abundance. Whoever your twin is, though, they're in denial. They're failing to accept the situation. They're still in unhealthy cycles or addictions. They're obsessing over you, the fact that you walked away. They're focusing on this situation. It says focusing too much on one situation needs to take a step back. So I feel like now they're in denial that you ended this connection, that you walked away. They're obsessing over the fact that you did. They're obsessing over you. They're not finding any peace in their life. They were a liar. They were deceptive. They're not having any success. They could have even walked away from you and left you in this fear that you had to overcome. But whatever they walked away from you for, they're not finding any peace in that or any success. Whatever situation they deceived you in, there's no peace in it and no success in it. And you're over here now that you were able to overcome this fear. You're now able to manifest in abundance for yourself. You found the balance in your own life. Tarot deck do I want to use? I'm going to use this one. Sorry. I usually have them out and ready beforehand. I didn't get this one. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers. I'm being told by Spirit to pull that. So, with the Page of Pentacles, and we have this person, like I said, deception. The moon is coming out in reverse. This person cast a lot of illusions in this relationship, a lot of lies, a lot of confusion. They left you feeling anxiety and fear in this connection. Now with it being in the reverse, you've gained clarity, you're regaining your composure, you're releasing fear, and that's why the fear is here in the reverse. You're now seeing your manifestations with the Page of Pentacles are starting to come in. You're realizing that there are other opportunities for you. Other desires are starting to come your way. You're starting to manifest new ideas, new opportunities, new ambitions, new desires. The Wheel of Fortune here. You're starting to receive good luck and karma. You're at a turning point in your life now after walking away from this twin flame connection. This person does want to come back in with this Knight of Cups here. They do want to come back in and try to reconcile with you, because they are in denial that you've closed out this cycle with them. They are obsessing over you. So they are going to try to come back in with this love offer. But this is going to be just another cup full of bullshit from this person, because they want to keep you trapped in this karmic cycle with them. Like I said, they're now receiving bad karma. They have no peace. They have no success in whatever situation they move towards. They now see you're manifesting abundance since this separation took place. And that's why they want to come back in to try to reconcile with you. Denial. Why is denial here? Let's see. Yeah, this person, they juggled you with the Two of Pentacles being here in the reverse. They placed other things of importance over you. They lied to you. They deceived you here. They could have put you in third parties, but even if this wasn't a romantic third party, they could have just prioritized other things and other people over you. It doesn't have to necessarily be a love interest. This could be them prioritizing work, money, addictions, drugs, their family, their friends over you. Right now, with the Four of Swords, I feel like you had to go in, you had to do some serious soul searching. I feel like you went through a dark night of the soul after this situation took place, this separation took place. You had to rest and recover and reflect on this. I feel like this person is refusing to do any self-reflection. That's why they're in denial. They need to go in and do this reflecting as well. They're going to try to rush back in your way, because we saw the Knight of Cups here. Now with the Knight of Swords here, this is somebody who they can be the word I'm looking for. Like, they're going to come rushing back in towards you because they're in denial that this is over. They don't want to let you go here. With the Four of Cups in the reverse, this was somebody who was bored with you when they had you. They were detached, apathetic. But now that you've walked away, they're seeing you as a missed opportunity. That's why they want to come rushing back in. Because with the Magician here, they see you manifesting good things for yourself. This abundance, this new life for yourself, this balance. They see you getting equal give and take from the universe now. Why is obsession here? They're stuck in their head with the Eight of Swords being here because they now see that you're in this Nine of Pentacles energy, that you are living a life of financial independence. You're taking care of yourself. You're following your intuition. You're now finding satisfaction in your own life. You've gained strength since walking away from this person. That's making them feel like they've been left out in the cold with this Five of Pentacles here. And that's why they feel like they can't have any peace, because they see you getting ahead and it's driving them crazy. So this is somebody who's now watching you with the Page of Swords here in the reverse. This is somebody who is deceptive. They're careless. They're watching you now, and them watching you is destroying their peace because, like I said, they feel like they've been left out in the cold. Well, you're in this Nine of Pentacles energy. This has them trapped in their head. This is why they're obsessing over you. They don't have access to your abundance, and it's making them crazy. I feel like when you were with them, you were this Queen of Cups, compassionate, emotionally supportive of them. You were caring. You were always pouring into this person. And now I feel like you've switched up on them. Now you're in this King of Swords energy where you've gained the mental clarity. And now you've established boundaries with this person. This is pissing them off. They can't find any peace. They don't understand why you've switched up or how you've managed to switch up on them and go from this kind, caring, loving person who didn't have boundaries, who just kept letting them come back, kept forgiving them, kept dealing with their bullshit, lived in fear of losing them. Like, I feel like you gave this person a lot of chances, and then finally something happened to the point where you finally said enough is enough, and you've took a step back, gained a clearer perspective, established boundaries with this person. And that is why they're not at peace, because they're watching you and they can't understand how you managed to switch up on them and go from this kind, loving person who basically let them walk all over you into this person of authority that's making head over heart decisions and not letting them stomp on your boundaries any longer. And that is why they're obsessing, and that is why they have no peace. Why is abundance here? Despite everything that they've done to you, they've caused a lot of setbacks and delays in your life to long-term goals that you had, because they were in this Five of Wands energy. They created a lot of Three of Wands in reverse is about delays, setbacks, obstacles to long-term goals. Five of Wands is about obstacles, competition, arguments, tension, disagreements. So this person created a lot of obstacles in your life to stop you from moving forward for a long time. But once you walked away, you stepped into this Empress energy where you found your divine feminine energy, whether you're a man or a woman. You now stepped into this Empress energy. You're not chasing anymore. You're just attracting. You're sitting on your throne. You're not going out of your way for other people the way you used to. And that is why abundance is starting to flow into your life. You're now able to attract and manifest things instead of chase them because you found balance within yourself, because you've let go of this fear. So once you went through this, once this happened, you were probably in this Five of Cups energy. You were feeling a sense of grief, despair, loss. Once this cycle closed out, this person is now in this energy. They're realizing what they've lost now that you've closed out this cycle. And like I said, regardless of who walked away from who here, I feel like if this person walked away from you, it left you in this Five of Cups energy when it first happened, but you were able to go in and heal once this cycle closed out. If you walked away from this person, regardless of who walked away from who, you were in this energy, you got out of it. You're now moving towards victory and success with the Six of Wands here. That's leaving this past person in despair. This cycle has been closed out. You are going to victory and success. You are attracting in positive changes and abundance into your life. And it's because you found this balance within yourself. And because you've released this fear. So balance, what is balance out here? Fell. A few cards fell. Okay. Yeah, so after going through this betrayal with the Ten of Swords here, whatever this person did, they really betrayed you. You're now sailing on to calmer waters with the Six of Swords being here. With the Ace of Wands, you're now being able to go towards new beginnings, new opportunities for growth. Once this person stabbed you in the back and you got away from them, you've now found the balance. And you have new opportunities and new beginnings coming your way. What is deception here? Let's see. Whoever this person was, they were really holding you back. This person was very immature, emotionally immature with the Page of Cups here. They held you back a lot in life. Now you're going in and you're working on yourself. I feel like you're making up for lost time by working on yourself now. With the Emperor here, this could be your energy. You're now finding your stability, your security. This can also be a new divine counterpart coming in after dealing with this person's deceptions. What is fear here? In the reverse. Let's see, fear in the reverse. Okay, so with the Hermit in the reverse, I feel like you were afraid of giving up on this situation because you didn't want to be lonely. This person could have isolated you. But at some point, you let go of the fear, you got on the chariot, you moved on. You're now in this Knight of Pentacles energy where you're focused on building your own stability and wealth. This is like slow and steady wins the race kind of energy. And you're moving on to this Ten of Pentacles in your own life. This is about stability, security, generational wealth, long-term success. So you are putting in the work. Let's see. You are putting in the work for this long-term success. And like I said, slow and steady wins the race here with this Knight of Pentacles. This is what you're moving towards. And whoever this past person is, they're not, whatever they move towards that caused you to separate or after you separated, they're not finding any success in that. Why is success out here in the reverse? Success is out here in the reverse because I feel like this person, when you first met them, you believe them to be a King of Wands. This is somebody who is charming, a strong leader, somebody who's successful and mature. But if anything, I feel like they were a King of Wands in the reverse. This is somebody who's impulsive, ruthless, stubborn, opinionated, never satisfied with anything. And I feel like this energy that they exude, their impulsiveness, their recklessness, is what's leading them to a lot of burdens because they don't think things through. They just kind of, whatever satisfies them at the moment, whatever catches their attention or tickles their fancy at the moment is what they move towards. And they're never satisfied. And I feel like that attitude is what leads them to have these 10 wands, this burden. They're not going to have any stable foundations with the 4 of wands being in the reverse. They're a poor communicator. They're just going to have a lot of conflict. They have a lot of conflict with you, a lot of arguments, misunderstandings because they don't communicate well. This isn't going to change for them. This is the justice playing out. Their lack of success here is their justice, their karma for being in this energy. Now they're carrying these burdens and they're not going to have a stable foundation or success anywhere because of their impulsiveness, their poor communication skills, their tendency to have arguments and misunderstandings. And to refuse, this is the type of person also that refuses to accept accountability. They like to blame other people for what goes wrong in their lives. They don't accept any responsibility for any part they play in anything. They like to just pass the blame on to other people. So when you have that kind of attitude where you don't accept any accountability, you're not going to have success in life. Like I said, this person, when they want to be, because it did come out in the upright, this person, when they first come in and meet somebody, they come off as somebody who is confident, charming, successful, mature. But once you get to know them, that's when you see their true side. Once that mask drops, that they're impulsive. Like I said, they're never satisfied with anything. They're stubborn, they're opinionated. So somebody like that is never going to have success because no matter what they have, they're always thinking that they settled for something, that what they have isn't good enough. They're just never satisfied. So they could have left you thinking there was something else better out there. This attitude could have just caused a lot of arguments between the two of you in general. that nothing you did for them was ever good enough. But they're going to have that same attitude and that same energy no matter who they're with or where they go. So they're never going to have any success in life. At the bottom of the deck, we have Temperance. So I feel like you're gaining your balance, your harmony. After going through this heartbreak with the Three of Swords being here in the reverse, I feel like you're starting to release this, recover, heal. This person was in devil energy when you were in this relationship with them. And now I feel like you are taking a leap of faith with the Fool being here to new beginnings because you realized there was no Ten of Cups in this relationship. You were never going to have a happy relationship with this person. There was always going to be disharmony, relationship problems, arguments, as long as you were in this situation with this person. So I feel like you did release this fear. You did take a leap of faith to start a new beginning elsewhere with this Fool card. After being in this relationship with this person was very shallow, very destructive, toxic. You're releasing this heartache now and you're finding this balance within yourself. So that's the reading. If it resonated with you, drop a like, comment, or subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.